who, in your mind, who's the starting other guard?
First of all, did you say Oubre Jr.? Come on, bro. It's Oubre Jr. Man, get it together. First of all, you got to get the names right.
Okay.
You get your names right for all these stats you do?
First of all,
you know, Anthony wants the big. Everyone's got the big three. Anthony wants like the big 10.
Five would do. Just give me a starting five.
What do you think? Like,
okay. All right. Stop the shenanigans.
all of a sudden.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Matter Stats podcast. Myself, Kobe, Billy, all with you tonight. Fellas, how you doing?
What's going on? Happy Taco Tuesday, even though today is one of the rare days I didn't actually eat tacos.
That makes two of us. I did not have any either today.
Uh-oh. Anthony, you better get us, man. I don't know what kind of pod this is about.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I almost never have tacos on Tuesday.
Well, that's a given, man. That's a given. Hopefully this one goes smoothly, man, because we're not off to a great start, I guess.
Oh, boy. Okay. You've already jinxed us. Good job. So, killing some Laker buzz last week, the Jazz traded Bogdanovich to the Pistons for Kelly Olynyk and guard Saban Lee, and no draft picks. The Celtics coach Ime Udoka has been suspended for the 2022-23 season by the team for violating the team's code of conduct policy. After much backlash, Suns owner Robert Sarver is going to sell the Suns and the Mercury. He owns both, and he's now putting them up for sale. And Albert Pujols becomes the fourth player in MLB history to join the 700th home run club. He did it last Friday at Dodger Stadium. Kind of cool. Hit 2 in that game. He joins Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, and Babe Ruth as the only 4 players to ever do that feat. And those are some of the headlines this week.
Well, congrats to Pujols and, to a great career that he's had, even though he came to the Angels and barely did anything. But, hey, still, good job. And everyone's still waiting on Judge, man. Everyone's tuning in on him, waiting to see if he passes 60.
He's been sitting on that number for over a week now.
Yeah, I know. That's it.
Yeah, and Anthony kind of alluded to it a little bit. We know your boy Bojan Bogdanovich. Then just another name not being traded to the Lakers. Tell the people how excited you were about that.
Well,
and no draft picks.
Yeah, again, and it's not me. Hey, it's not me. I mean, you can go and read any article you want or look on Twitter. Everybody was surprised by that they traded Bogdanovich and didn't get any draft picks in return, as that was the whole key to everything that Danny Ainge is trying to do, right? Unload guys to reload and get all these draft picks, and that's Danny Ainge's MO. So it was kind of surprising to everybody, not just to myself, that they moved him for a couple of contracts, even Olynyk, who's not even an expiring contract, and didn't get any draft picks in return. So, yes, it was very surprising.
You might be right. That Rob factor could be a big factor on why no one wants to trade with the Lakers.
I don't know, Billy. He don't sound like he's bringing that same energy like he was bringing pre-pod. What do you think?
Nah, he's fine.
Yeah. Eat your pretend taco.
You had nachos earlier. That's close enough, right?
Yeah, I went to Yard House, had nachos. I had calamari. I had a Philly cheesesteak. I'm about 5,000 calories deep, man.
Oh, my God. You made it. We're supposed to feel sorry for you. You didn't get your bad calories today. What are you talking about? Plenty.
That's why I was telling you guys. I didn't know if I was going to make the pod, man. I'm sleepy, man. I need to go to sleep.
Oh, my God.
The calamari's really good.
Yeah, calamari was good. It was all good. But I'm ready to. I'm definitely got the food coma, man. So let's keep this moving. All
right. Great. Now that we've heard your dietary gems here for the night. So yesterday, of course, was media day for the Lakers and for lots of teams as training camps started this week. Just wanted to get your guys' thoughts. I have some feedback and thoughts and ideas of what I saw yesterday from Lakers Media Day. Just want to see your feedback, what you guys thought of it. Kobe, you want to interject with what you yesterday's Media Day?
I was actually going to say, why don't we hear your thoughts to start with for once?
Yeah, since we were both at work. I don't know.
You got to watch
We were at
most of
work.
it. I got to listen on some of it.
I saw a few clips. Yeah.
Well, okay, fine. I will give you my humble opinion. I thought it was interesting, and even Billy, you and I touched on some of this yesterday. We were texting a little bit back and forth. You get a lot of cliche stuff. Obviously Darvin Ham, was good. I think he's pretty good in the room. LeBron, AD always say the right things. It was interesting to AD looks good, but he always looks good.
Yeah.
Talked about his goal about being dominant and playing every game, but feels like there's no pressure on him. I thought that's kind of interesting. Just that idea of this year's training camp, the vibe feels a little different. Last year, the vibe was so, oh my gosh, the Lakers are going to win the West and they're going to be so good. And they got all these Hall of Famers. And, there was kind of like I don't know, just they were feeling themselves a bit last year. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
At the start of camp and before preseason. This year, obviously, the vibe is different because a lot of people are very concerned. They don't think this is a great team. They don't think we have no wings. There's no shooting. So I think there's definitely more of a workman-like mentality, especially with Darvin Ham at the helm. I think yesterday everybody it didn't feel like anybody was, cocky or arrogant or wait till you see us play. We're going to be so good,
Right.
It was more of like, we're
business.
Yeah, exactly. Business. We're going to go out there. We're going to do our job. We're going to get better. We're going to play defense. We're going to be fundamentally sound. We're going to be disciplined, all of these things. Rob did his usual, Hamlet, scripted, whatever you want to call it, readings up there where he uses a bunch of big words and talks about things that we didn't do, and this is why we didn't do them, but yet we're still committed to doing them if it happens in the future.
Yeah, he went on a big tangent about, some draft picks and why we didn't get rid of them or some other rule, and we don't know if we have this pick. And he just went all over the place and basically probably confused majority of the people that are watching.
That's all the stuff that Anthony's talked about in past pods and how the picks work. You got to trade every other year and all that stuff. So he was basically insulting your intelligence, Anthony. He's trying to make it seem like Laker Nation didn't know.
Well, he was he's so funny. He's like, I don't know if you guys understand how trading the picks work. No, we get it, Rob. You didn't trade them. We understand exactly how it works. You had them and you didn't move them. We got it.
Well, like I said, he never gave us a timeline, so
it's right. It's open ended.
Yeah, I thought, like you said, Rob was saying, a lot of, Rob and Darvin and LeBron, we're all saying kind of like the PC stuff, the giving the vague answers, just all the stuff that you're supposed to say. But when it got to my boys, Pat Bev and Russ saying what's on their mind, that's what I really liked. But before we get to them, did you guys think, it's just something that I subtly picked up because it caught my attention because, I was on my lunch break yesterday, kind of watching some of the clips, I'm eating my tuna and rice, and I just, all of a sudden my eyes went, whoa, when someone had asked LeBron, they said, so what's your relationship like with Darvin? How's it been? And I was expecting LeBron to just come out and say, hey, it's been great. I'm excited that he's here. We're ready to get to work. But he's like, it's better. It's getting better and better every day. It's getting better and better and better. And I'm like, why would he say that? Like, I don't know. Did you guys pick up on that, or am I overthinking that one?
I didn't get to watch that.
Why wouldn't he just come out?
I didn't read too much.
I don't know.
I didn't read too much into that. I didn't read too much into that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I honestly don't think they talked a lot. I mean, LeBron was out on vacation all summer promoting tequila and all this other stuff, so he probably didn't talk much at all. So there's only so much you can build over the phone, and everyone has their off-season stuff and all that. So it's going to take a minute for them to build a solid trust and solid relationship as training camp and stuff picks up.
Yeah, well, no, and I'm just kind of thinking back to when they announced Darvin Ham being named the head coach. LeBron was like all over it on Twitter, on social media. Yeah, he was like, excited. Welcome, Coach Ham. Like he was excited, blah blah blah. And then they asked him this question at media day, and he was just like, "It's getting better and better and better and better every day."
I think it's probably just an honest answer. I don't think it's anything bad. I don't think it's anything negative. I just think it's an honest answer. They're getting to know each other and getting a feel of what each other likes and stuff, and how things are going to go. And Yeah, I don't.
You're,
There's no.
you're, you're right. It could be absolutely nothing. This could be that game they play on whatever show that is, something, nothing, or everything. It could be absolutely nothing. You're right. But Anthony, I'm curious about your thoughts because you made a big deal about it yesterday. Or was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. You were all upset about what Russ had to say. About hold on.
Yeah.
People at work not always liking you. So why don't you elaborate? Just let it out.
Hey, that statement's damn true. I can.
Well, here's the thing. First, I'm going to agree with Billy. I actually took LeBron's comments as more of a positive, like not like, oh yeah, it's getting better, as more, but the reverse of that is like, yeah, getting better every day, liking what's happening, we're headed in the right direction. I took it more like that because, like Billy said, they don't know each other, so I took it a little differently than you did. But I see where you could look at it both ways. It wasn't. Look, I wasn't upset at what Russ. It's just this whole narrative, right? Coming in was Russ is going to get traded. Now he's not going to get traded, but all offseason it was like Darvin Ham is working with Russ and he's got a great relationship and he's done everything he's asked and he's been in the gym, he's doing this and Russ saying the right things, right? I'm going to do whatever's asked of me. Come off the bench, start, park cars, play defense, set picks, whatever they want me to do, right? I'm going to do whatever they want, right? That was the whole, everything was all this great rah, 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 right? And then yesterday he finally gets an opportunity to speak and Plaschke asks him that question, basically, how do you feel still being here? And he was like, well, it's, I don't have to, they don't have to like me. That's not important to me. I'm just here to do my job. And we all have jobs sometimes where we go to work and not everybody likes us and that's okay. And it just, is that really what you wanted to hear from him after all the rah-rah stuff that everybody's been pushing? And we're stuck with him right now for better or worse.
To be exact, the question was, do you feel the Lakers want you to be here? That was more
right.
The question that he was asked. And he was like, basically what he could have said, well, I'm here now, so I'm going to do the best, blah, blah, blah. Instead, I guess he gave his honest answer. He's been like that, for a few years now.
Hey, and we can't fault Russ because, speaking of Plaschke, he asked Rob the exact same question pretty much. He said Russ has said that he's all in on the Lakers, but are you guys all in on him?
Yep.
And will he be here at the start of the season or at the trade deadline? And Rob started that answer. I love when people start the answer with this. They go, "Well, Bill, that's a great question."
Yeah, well, they answer your question with a question.
Yeah, already I'm like, I don't know if I like where this is going.
But that's so Rob, right?
I know. And then what does he do? He like dances around the answer like the whole time.
Yeah, and he quotes like Nietzsche or something, right?
Yeah. And then he ultimately says, Russ is a great guy with a great character and a great work ethic. But if we got to make a trade, to upgrade the roster, then that's what we'll do. Which I'm sure Anthony, you loved to hear. But so if Rob's gonna give his honest answer, I don't fault Russ at all for giving his answer, and I liked his answer. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm here to be a professional. I'm here.
That's my whole point. That's what I've been telling you guys. Him still being here is going to be a problem because it's still going to be awkward. It's still, the dynamic is still going to be strange.
You think so though? Because if anybody was going to be awkward with Russ, it would have been Pat Bev, and those guys are besties now. So I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think.
Did you hear the story that Pat Bev told about
his sister? Yeah.
When Russ was in Houston and all that, and then Pat Bev didn't even know about it until during the game. That was actually really awesome. Russ ain't a bad guy. He's gonna speak his mind. He had a rough year, but he's not a bad guy. We all know he wears his heart on his sleeve. He'll give you 100%, good or bad, every night, and that's what we got. And like I said, I think the only reason why Russ's name come out is the money, and we all know that the money's a big thing. That's the only way we get people is to move his money off the books. So I'm pretty sure he understands it, and I'm sure everyone's talked. And I saw a video of like him, LeBron, and David, having a little 3-point contest and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, LeBron got mopped up in that one. How about that?
Yeah. So I
know. Yeah, Russ, he looked fantastic. Wait till game one.
Well, we'll see.
All I'm saying is, look, everything you're saying is right, Billy. And I love Russ. Russ is one of my favorite players of the last 10 plus years. I love Russ. I love his attitude. I love his game. I love his personality. All on the court, right? Off the court, you're right. He's not a bad guy. All I'm saying is, just like Kobe said last week, like Kendrick Nunn's looking healthy, and Kobe's like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll believe it when I see it. Is Russ really going to do all the little things that he's going to be asked to do without complaining, totally buying in? I'm just taking a wait and see approach, because if it works, great, right? Then Rob looks like some sort of genius, right? See, I told you guys it would work. That's why we kept all the picks. But if it doesn't work, and then we got to ship them at the deadline for more or less or the same or whatever, then it's going to be like, oh man, we wasted 2 months on this experiment again after a whole season, and it didn't work twice.
I mean, maybe Beverly's a guy that can get through to him, and maybe that's someone that Russ can relate to a little more, and maybe they can help each other. Pat Bev can help Russ get through some things, and you never know.
Yeah, I haven't been this excited for the start of the season in a while. The addition of Pat Bev has me hyped. I'm gonna be going nuts around here. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Because of Pat Bev, you think?
Because of Pat Bev.
I get what you're saying. But there's two things that concern me, independent of the Russ stuff, just actual X's and O's on the floor. The idea that we're going to try to basically guard other wings with point guards, and the lack of 3-point shooting. Those are two fundamental things that concern me. Forget about all the drama and all that. I'm just saying, like, actual basketball conceptual things. Doesn't that concern you a little bit, though?
Well, is that what I'm excited for? And I never said I was excited for any of that stuff. I was just saying, like, let's be clear. I was actually really excited about last season too, with the addition of Russ. I thought that was going to be fun, with LeBron and AD. But now we have we got all three of those guys, plus Pat Bev lighting a fire under everybody. I'm just excited to see how it's going to play out. I don't know how it's going to go. I have nothing. All your little analytics you're trying to throw at me, I have no clue how any of that's going to go. I just want to see what the addition of Pat Bev does. You saw the little post that we had the admin put up yesterday. Pat Bev saying he likes to be prepared, and he's already watching film. And Kendrick Nunn walking over, going, "Wow, you're watching film already?" He's like, "Yeah, you need to have your ass right here too with me." I
get it.
That was hilarious.
I get it.
Yeah, I thought that was
Pat. I get it. Beverly is going to bring some good things to the table. I get it. I'm not a fan in general, but I know his strengths and weaknesses. I know the positive things that he will bring to the table.
I can't wait to see who he pisses off first and how much he's really not even going to give a shit about it. I can't wait. Can't wait to see it.
Well, he probably pissed me off after game 1, so let's just wait and see.
We already predicted that. You already had him.
Let's just wait and see.
Preseason, got him in the trade machine.
Ham was preaching a lot during his talking. He would address the question, then he would just go straight to defense right after he would address the question. So
yeah, everything was defense.
I want to see how that pans out, because the last coach that told us defense, that was Mike Brown, and that didn't work out too well.
That was actually Frank Vogel.
Mike Brown's the first.
There's got to be a balance. Like, you have to be able to score the ball too. I get what Billy's saying. But you're right, Billy. They did. Ham said that he I think his exact words were something to the effect of, there's no reason for us to not be an elite defensive team next year.
Right.
And I see that in theory, because we do have more good on the ball defenders. We're much more versatile and athletic, but we do have undersized guards and not a lot of wings. And there's going to be nights where it might be a challenge to defend the Paul Georges and, the bigger wings with, Schroeder and Beverly and Westbrook.
Here's another thing that I don't think a lot of people have really given much thought to, but Pat Bev, we kind of know what he's able to contribute, but I think he can only take a team so far with what he brings to the table. Now he's finally paired with a team that desperately needs what he brings to the table. Don't you think that if, let's just say hypothetically, the Lakers do win it all this season, that Pat Bev could be given a lot of credit for that? I think he's in the right situation now. I think he's in the right situation that to have his skill set be not only appreciated and absorbed by the team, but will be a big part of the Lakers winning the championship.
And you're going to see him a lot more on TV as well, being on the Lakers, national televised games and stuff like that. So people might appreciate what he does more. Obviously, other fans of the other team may not like a lot of antics as we did when he was playing against us, but he'll get a lot more spotlight on him and stuff like that. So, that'll be interesting.
So, Kobe,
There.
let me ask you a question just to follow up on what you're saying. So you think that maybe he could fill not a direct comparison, but because they're different type players, but the idea of like that Derek Fisher type role?
No, I wouldn't say Derek Fisher per se.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of bulldog. Smart.
I would say more of a Ron Artest role, and I was gonna say, and not just from the physicality point, but like Ron Artest is kind of like the perfect example. He was always with teams that were good, but never good enough to get them over the hump. Mm-hmm. And it was, and I know the Lakers won the year before with Trevor Ariza, and then obviously we traded to get Ron Artest, but it was almost like his skill set was perfect for the Lakers that year to help them win that other championship. Mm-hmm. So I would say more like a Ron Artest. There's another player too that I've thought about him in the past in comparison to, but I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. So
okay,
did you guys see what Toscano Anderson said? Like he's like, oh well, he how Beverley was saying, like there's only two players in the league, that do what he does, and that's him and Draymond. And then Anderson, later on, he was like, well, I'm that type of guy too. And Draymond's seen it and stuff like that. And he's going to learn. He's going to see me do that, on the course. So that should be interesting too. Because if that's the case, then, we're in for a ride because those are two types of mentalities and stuff that we really missed in the last couple of years.
Well, and I like JTA. I think that he is one of the true real wings we have on this team. That's that's a 3-and-D type potential guy, plays with energy, can guard multiple positions, can shoot the three. I did like that signing. Walker proves that he can shoot the three like he did prior to last year. Then he could be worth the money. I wanted to get your opinion quick. Do you guys think that if at any point in the season they decide to bring Russ off the bench, do you think he could be sort of like our version of Lamar Odom or Andre Iguodala, right? Like when they were asked to come off the bench and really helped those teams do what they were supposed to do. Do you think Russ could potentially fill a role like that?
I don't know. Mid-season, I don't know. I don't know if he would embrace it, to be honest with you.
That would be my only thing too, because you look at guys like Elo and Iguodala, they kind of seem like they're more humbled to that idea and more, obviously they were both starters at one point and, were both considered stars of their team at one point, but we're able to kind of easily fall into that second role. And we're going to get into it in a bit here, but, Lamar said that's pretty much that same thing in this new Legacy episode where he's like, I was happy to come to be Pippen to Kobe's Michael Jordan, but are we ever going to hear something like that come from Russ? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's just another dynamic to the puzzle, right? That could present itself at some point, whether it's game 1 or game 51, right? Who knows?
Yeah. And I'm not saying that that's going to be Russ's role this year or that it should be, because he may come out the gates firing on all cylinders, and maybe for some reason Darvin Ham has figured out how to make it work. Then I'm all for Russ staying in the starting lineup and being productive. But if he has to go to the bench or he has to take a kind of like a backseat role, if he does have to do that, I hope he embraces it, and I hope that he does it for the betterment of the team. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, we got off on a crazy tangent. It's not even on the agenda here. Want to get into the next segment or what?
Yeah, just real quick. Just wanted to ask you guys a quick question. Do you like the little training camp editions of Matt Ryan and Dwayne Bacon? I know you love some Dwayne Bacon.
I got a ton of his cards. I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I don't know the other guy. I thought he was a football quarterback or something. Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, right. You thought we signed the Colts quarterback?
Yeah.
He played with the Celtics. He was in the Celtics summer league team. They're both wings. They're both 6'7", 6'8" guys. I think Matt Ryan might be a little bit taller, but they're both wings, shooters. Bacon's like he's like another Malik Monk, type of project, if you will, right? A guy that was a a first round pick that didn't pan out.
What kind of deals are they on though? Like
they were just signed a couple days ago to non-guaranteed contracts. They're going to come in and compete and be on the preseason roster, and
kind of like our boy LiAngelo. That was a headline. How come that didn't make the headlines?
Yeah, as a headline in your mind. But because we obviously have one open spot still remaining, so that could potentially be filled by one of these kids coming out of camp. But we'll see. I just wanted to get your thoughts. We didn't talk about it earlier because it's not a big deal. But Dwayne Bacon is at least a guy that you've heard before because he was a first round pick. All right, real quick before we get out of here, let's just recap episode 8 of Legacy. Kind of get your guys' thoughts. Anything you guys liked, jumped out at you from this week's episode?
I loved it. Not a lot of family drama. So that was nice, all basketball. I liked it a lot. It was a nice surprise to see Vanessa make an appearance. Pretty cool how she was saying that she made Rob do the no trade clause because she's like, there's no way we're leaving Cali. So that was pretty cool. That kind of guaranteed Kobe wasn't going anywhere. I didn't know about that whole Bynum stuff. I didn't know Jim was, the whole advocate of Bynum coming in and all that. And I didn't know that when Gary Vita came out, they said Bynum was not, health-wise, structural-wise, he was not in good health there.
Yeah, he was like the Zion before the Zion. I didn't know that either. That was crazy.
I didn't know any of that. And you see how Lamar was saying how, like, when he jumped and he landed, his knees kind of went in, and they were like kind of like when he landed, they're like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
All right, and that was a trip. That's something I didn't know. Everything else we pretty knew, and like I said, I loved it. It was a lot of Kobe, which I liked and enjoyed, and pretty much, it was just a great episode. I was glad they didn't do any of the family drama and all that. Yeah,
see, this is why I'm always supposed to go first because I'm supposed to say everything you just said, and then you're supposed to be like, hey, take everything off my paper. Yeah, because you pretty much took everything off of my paper.
Blame it.
Yeah, no, I agree, Billy. To a T. Basically, I didn't know about the whole. For everyone saying like, oh, Jim wanted everybody to know that Andrew Bynum was his pick. Everyone wanted everyone to know that. I didn't know. I never knew it. But then again, I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't in the front office like you, Anthony, at that time. So I wasn't really paying attention like that. But it was crazy to see, and all those injuries, that him not being able to jump or land properly and all that definitely reminded me of Zion and all that. But like you said too, Billy, I like seeing Vanessa in there, and I just liked seeing her smiling, and having great things to say, about Kobe and looking like she was in great spirits. So shout out to Vanessa. That was cool.
Lamar looked good too. He looked healthy. He looked good.
And shout out to Pal. Pal was out there rocking a Kobe shirt. I don't think anyone's awesome. Rocking a Kobe shirt yet. Showing love to his brother. So yeah, that was dope to see.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you guys. It was a pretty good episode. It was a lot more about basketball and less about the mom and pop, stand that is the Lakers.
And I think that's
organization,
what we all want, right? That was this has been the best episode so far.
That's what we've been waiting for. Yes, that's what we were all hoping it was going to be about.
I think these last 2 episodes will probably be that way too. So hey, they got 1/3 of it right. Nice.
Yeah, and I thought it was awesome. I didn't expect if we'd see Vanessa at all in any of these episodes. That was nice. I love seeing Pau, of course. The Pau trade. That was obviously that was a game changer for Kobe's legacy. And I remember when we drafted Bynum that he had some injury in high school, but like the knees going in and all that kind of crazy stuff. I mean, that's stuff that obviously you don't hear about. But I do know that was Jim's boy. I mean, I know that was the guy that he was super high on, and I didn't realize that everybody in the organization was like on one side, and he was literally the only guy in the Bynum boat. But I do remember a big deal out of the fact that this is the guy that they wanted. This is the guy that Jim Buss loved and thought he was going to be a game changer. And obviously the injuries really limited him. I wouldn't say he was a bust because he was decent. He had a couple of good years. Obviously we won championships with him. So he did provide some, he was an asset to the team. So I wouldn't call him a bust. but he definitely, because of the injuries, did not turn out to be, the next Kareem.
Yeah, it was a wrap pretty much after he left the Lakers.
And
for sure.
you might know, you may not know. I'm just curious. So we got Bynum, but who was before and after Bynum on that draft? Do you know or no?
I don't remember offhand. So I know that Bynum was the 10th pick. I know that he was still. You could still draft out of high school, but I don't remember offhand.
Yeah,
that draft.
It would have been interesting to see, like, okay, if Bynum wasn't there, who maybe the one before, the one after is what we would have got. But whatever.
I thought the little wink from Mitch was kind of funny when he's talking about Mark Cuban, when he's like, "Oh, Mark Cuban don't tell the truth either."
Oh yeah, when Cuban's like, "I thought we had a done deal," and Mitch is like, "Yeah, whatever. You could tell him I said that."
Yeah, tell him I said that.
I was surprised Cuban would even make an appearance in this. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he always seems like a good sport, but yeah, that was pretty funny. One of the things that did blow me away too about Bynum was I think it was Mitch that was saying like, "Oh yeah, like we draft him at 17. We asked him when he started playing, 15." It's like,
yeah,
dang.
Well, yeah, like I said, I don't. Sometimes you're not always privy to all those kind of details, but I remember I think some people thought that it was a little bit of a reach, right? But to answer your question, Billy, that was not what you would call an exceptional draft after the top 4.
Yeah,
that was the Chris Paul draft. So Darren Williams and Chris Paul were 3 and 4. Andrew Bogut was the number 1 pick that year, but Channing Frye was 8. Ike Diogu was 9. Bynum was.
Who was Bynum? Hello?
He's on Wikipedia now, screwing us up. I could tell.
Don't use your phone for that.
Yeah, Anthony, you there? All right, he's out. All right, Billy. So anyway, cut Anthony out.
Jesus.
I know, screwed everything up.
All right, so yeah, I mean, I guess we could have had Fry, but that would have been cool. But is what it is, and the episode was great, and can't wait to see what happens next week. I'm sure Ron Artest is going to make an appearance. That's going to be sick.
I mean, 2 more to go, and it's going to end. It ends after the bubble championship, so so we know what is on its way.
That's gonna be tough.
How do you know it ends there? What, you got the sneak peek? You went to the screening or what?
No, I just know that's how it was done. It was supposed to start when when Bus bought the team, and it was gonna go through the end of the 2021 season.
It doesn't get us caught up live. It doesn't go through last season.
No.
That's the real story of the Lakers.
I don't believe so. Sorry.
Kobe,
sorry to disappoint you.
Miss Cleo over here.
Miss Cleo, yeah. For the fans that don't know, we've been calling Anthony Miss Cleo for what, like 5, 6, 7 years now, because Anthony always tries to say that, like, he's always after the fact. Something will happen, he'll be like, "Oh wow, yeah, we all saw that coming. We knew that was gonna happen." Blah blah blah. It's like, no, you didn't. This guy always thinks he has all his predictions in order. He doesn't got nothing in order.
Oh man.
You just gotta call it like you see it.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, are we done, boys?
Yes, sir.
I think so.
All right, well, thanks everybody for listening to another episode of the Matter of Stats podcast. We appreciate you guys listening. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Check out the IG. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. And we'll keep bringing you the good stuff every single week.
Peace out.